welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we have this interesting pattern. Oh, I needed my thing. It is pattern number 3975 over on friendshipbracelets.net. I have doubled the pattern to make it different, a little more interesting. I have to configure it so that way there was an extra row in the middle, which actually I think that really actually made this pretty cool. For a 12-string bracelet, right, you don't get to pack a lot of pattern into it, typically speaking, right? Because it's just small. It's difficult to get a lot of something kind of going on. But just using 3 colors means that you get to do something. Like if you use 6 colors on a 12-string bracelet, right? Yeah, you can get like a nice arrowhead or some other things. But 3 colors lets you do like certain kind of repetitions, you know, kind of split it in down the middle and do stuff, which is exactly what happened here today. And I really do like this one a lot. It was a little bit difficult to kind of get it started. You'll kind of see like this first part here is a little, I don't know, it was kind of harder. Like I said, it was a little hard to get it going, but once it was going, it's not bad. It's there's still a bunch of zigzags involved, and it would be maybe not quite a beginner's sort of thing. But again, we started out with a pattern. It's kind of really simple and turned it into something much bigger, much better. That said, I mean, it's only 12 strings still, so it would be a good one to kind of practice, to get your zigzags going, to get your segment knotting going, things like that. Yeah, it was fun. What else can I tell you? I don't think there's a whole lot of mistakes or anything that I encountered, but I did kind of have to watch the pattern a little bit because of the change ups. Like there's this area here where the gray is the outer box. You got the little red diamonds, and then it goes into like red diamonds with white in the center. So you don't want to accidentally do one section more than the others. So there was an element of like kind of keeping track, making sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Because we perfectly centered this, it doesn't seem like we flipped anything around or anything, in the overall scheme of things. It looks like it's just the same pattern continuously, which is cool. I mean, I don't always have to make it more complicated. And the goal here was to double the pattern without making it too hard, like to kind of give you how to double a pattern, and keeping it as simple as possible, because obviously doubling a pattern is a gateway to getting bigger patterns and doing bigger projects on your own, finding something that you particularly like, double it, triple it. I had recently talked about it on a live stream, how if you want to get into the bigger projects, that is how you get there. You double something, and then once you're comfortable with that, go 3-4 times the width. Now you have great big wide bracelets or bookmarks, whatever you're going to use them for. A lot of people don't wear bracelets. They get too big like that. And then eventually what you do is you double enough times around and you connect the beginning to the end, because that's still, they can come together. The way these 2 things came together as one, you can create a cylinder. And once you get good at doing those, endless amounts of things that you can create. Like, well, maybe not endless, but it does open up for a lot of stuff, like bags of all kinds of shapes and sizes and stuff. And I'm going to try to help get you guys there. That's my goal, is to take this craft and make it a little bit more interesting, make it fun. And yeah, you have to start somewhere, right? And like these, doubling these small ones is a great place to start. If you're not, already comfortable with trying like bigger projects, these little ones are like a micro version of something else that you might do. You know, maybe you take a 12 string and you turn it into 24. That's a bigger bracelet. I have several around here actually of 24 strings. In fact, no, I think this one I'm wearing, I think that's actually a little bit more than 24, but yeah, might be 36. But yeah, you know, just it all kind of has to start somewhere. And like I said, I think this is a good example of that. So, and it's just a really, really pretty bracelet. Like, honestly, if you doubled this again, I think that the way the segments kind of work in blocks, I think they would look really, really sharp. It's really, really kind of cool. And again, if you double the 12 to 24, and then if you do 4 of those, you actually have a small bag that could actually hold money and your ID and things like that, right? I've done a lot of 96 string bags. So yeah, it's quite possible. And again, I think this one would turn out looking nice. It'd be really sharp. Yeah, so this is, you can see like, right, this whole segment here is so completely different from the previous one. The previous one, it had the dark grays with just a red center, and now the red center with the light. Very, very cool. Alternatively, it would be kind of neat to have then turned it into the next segment is the light color with maybe the black doing the dots in the center. That might be a cool, if you're trying to change it up at all. But yeah, so we're kind of near the middle of the video, and these end really abruptly. So I do want to thank my Patreon members, well, supporters, and my YouTube members. I always get that confused, like they're both members, right? I don't know. But thank you guys so much for everything. All the string, I just realized I have to buy more string now because there's a big project that's been slated to happen in the near future, and I've got to go buy that string, get that figured out. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And seriously, you guys would be surprised, you know, like $5 a month might not seem like a lot to you, but when there's several people all contributing the same, it turns into a way of making this channel sustainable. So thank you guys very, very much for that. Yeah, so this is the actual center of the bracelet. Not sure why. So I had a marker in there to tell me where we were like halfway in the video. So I don't think I lost footage on this one. So I don't know why it seems like it was a little early for the Patreon thing to come up, but still. Maybe I just get going faster as I get used to it. It is definitely a pattern that I wouldn't necessarily have picked out. Like, I can't say why. You know, maybe it just seems a little too bland or something. But once it was doubled, and that's probably why I picked it to double it, was like, if you double this, it might actually get kind of more interesting. And I definitely think it did. And you can kind of tell, like, I kind of got, as I got further along, the segmenting got easier. That's probably why it went faster. It's the segmenting got easier. So, yeah. If you make the bracelet yourself, you should share that with me over on Discord and show me what colors you chose, and let me know what you thought, because I'm always curious, like, if anybody else is trying these things. And I kind of don't want to do the whole this is a challenge for, you know, that's, if you want to make a bracelet that turns out this way, cool. If not, I understand. It's okay. I don't mind. Yeah, and if you want to watch me actually making these bracelets in real time, YouTube member is the way to do that. I know Patreon is a great thing, but I can't link the videos to there, you know, or the live streams to there. Like, actually, right this moment, I'm actually in a live stream while recording this. So, yeah, it's just part of what I do and part of what is available out there. So, I mean, if you wanted to see, you can. It's possible. You can hear me babble after I get done recording what I thought of the recording and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I try to make it worth it. I want you to know, like, when you guys support the channel, it means so much to me, and I really do try to provide that value. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be working on another pattern, doubling it. That's kind of the theme for this month, is going back to the doubling these things. I'm trying to create a playlist that's big enough to where anybody who's, you know, remotely curious about getting a pattern that there's doubled, creating a playlist that makes it so that way they can come here and they can see how it's done, and then help inspire them to try doing it themselves. So not every pattern is really that easy to do double unless you're doing it off the graph paper the way I did it, and then it becomes really super easy. It becomes this, you know, mapping it like you saw, and then turning around and just flipping it, you know. So that's, again, though, I mean, there is room for change. You don't have to do it this way, right? That's what the other patterns for, like the mesh differently and the things like that. Or there was a series of ones where I tried to deliberately make it more difficult. So there's all kinds of things that you can do, and I just want to teach all that. I think we can have a lot of fun with our designs, and yeah, this is just one example. Like I said, I didn't have too many troubles. Just kind of follow along with the pattern, and it was sort of easy. Like I said, a lot of zigzags. Oh, some of the grays got used more than others, some of the reds as well. I had considered the possibility of cutting my strings into quarters, which would have made it so that way I just needed 3 skeins to produce this. But I went instead and cut it in thirds, which means I needed like 1 skein plus 1/3 of another skein in order to produce these. And yeah, some of them were not so short that the tassels were affected, but it was obvious that some strings were used more than others, and that can be a problem that you kind of want to avoid, obviously. So having longer strings just makes it that much easier. Yes, you end up with a lot of scrap at the end of it that you can't really use for much, but it kind of feels like it's better to play it safe and have the leftover string get scrapped than to do it too short and then run out at the end. Because if you can't do tassels, then basically you just ended up with a keychain or a bookmark, and unless that's what you're trying for, that's never that much fun. Oh yeah, hey, look at, we're getting near the end of it now. This is that last white area, and then it just has that little bit of adding in the red. So I definitely want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, listen to me babble. It's been a fun project. I really did enjoy it, and I look forward to doing more. And if you have questions, leave it down in the comments. I do try to reply to everybody whenever possible. So there you go. All right, guys, thank you again, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.